simple delivery, a black cow, and the darkness of night. But Abbas Ali had no idea. The order he was about to fulfill wasn't meant for humans. And that one mistake led him to a place where not everyone returns. This incident took place in the 1980s, and it happened to a man named Abbas Ali. Abbas Ali was a resident of a small village, and he used to sell meat there. He had a small meat shop. The village he lived in wasn't very densely populated, but it was quite old. Most of the houses were made of mud. The main road of the village stretched all the way to the end and then disappeared into a forested area. That was the general layout of the village, which is important to understand. In the village market, Abbas Ali had his meat shop. It wasn't a proper shop, just a small setup open in front like how meat is commonly sold, with the meat hanging in display. Every day he would go there, slaughter animals in his own way, sell the meat, and return home after finishing his business. One day, however, he got late. Some of his meat remained unsold, and it took him longer than usual to try and sell it. By the time he was done, it was around 8 or 8:30 at night. Earlier, he had already sent his assistant home. He then decided it was time for him to leave as well. Since some meat was still left, he packed it into a bag, cleaned up the shop, and got ready to leave. When he pulled down the shop shutter, he noticed that the entire area had become completely silent. The part of the market where his shop was located had no other shops beyond it. Just a narrow dirt road stretched ahead, with vast crop fields on both sides. He would have to walk through that path to get home. As he washed his hands and face, he realized that there was no one around anymore. The whole market was deserted. He thought to himself, "There's no point waiting any longer for customers. I'll just take whatever is left home and have it cooked." So he packed everything and started walking. As he walked, a beautiful moon shone in the sky, and a gentle breeze was blowing. Most of the houses in that village were old mud houses. Many of them were abandoned, left empty. Back then, land wasn't as valuable as it is now. People hadn't occupied every space like today. There were houses that had simply been left behind by their owners. As he walked past those empty houses, they looked eerie under the moonlight, almost like something out of a haunted scene. He continued walking, noticing ancient trees along the way. The air was dry but carried a certain calmness. Suddenly, as he walked, he noticed something strange. From behind a tree, it seemed like someone was peeking at him. He paused, startled. Who could that be at this hour? He wondered. It was hard to make out clearly, but it looked like a figure dressed in black, peeking from behind the tree. After a moment, the figure slowly stepped out and stood right in the middle of the road. Abbas Ali froze for a second. The man was unusually tall. As Abbas Ali approached closer, he began to notice a strange smell coming from the figure. It wasn't a normal scent. It felt sharp and unpleasant, like burnt coal or something scorched. It felt as if the man had been working with fire or charcoal. Then the man spoke. "Abbas Mia, how are you?" he asked in Urdu. Abbas Ali felt something was off. The man hadn't greeted him properly. Normally, people would exchange greetings first, but this man directly asked about him. Feeling uneasy, Abbas Ali greeted him and then asked, "Who are you?" The man didn't return the greeting. Instead, he simply said, "I am from here. I live here." Abbas Ali had been talking as he approached the man. But now, as he came close, standing about 3 feet away, he stopped completely. He noticed that the strange, pungent smell had grown even stronger. He could clearly tell now that it was coming from the man, like the smell of burnt charcoal, as if he had been sitting somewhere fire had been burning. The man's face still wasn't clearly visible. He was wearing a turban, and because the moonlight was falling from behind him through the gaps in the trees, it only lit the top of his head. His face remained in shadow, dark and unclear. The man then asked, "What is in your bag?" Abbas Ali replied, "Meat. I couldn't sell it all." The man said, "Yes, I can see that you couldn't sell it. You're taking it home, right?" Abbas Ali frowned slightly and said, "Why do you ask? It's my personal matter." The man replied calmly, No, it's nothing like that. I actually needed to meet you. I was going to come to your place today, but I couldn't." Abbas Ali said, "My business closes much earlier. I left quite late today. You could have come earlier." The man answered, "Later I thought you would pass this way, so I waited." Then he said, "I know you. What is your name?" Abbas Ali replied, "Why do you need my name?" The man said, "I need meat. I will buy from you, but I need meat from a black cow, and I need a lot of it." Abbas Ali became a bit concerned. "A lot? How much do you need?" The man answered, "Around 3 mons." Hearing that, Abbas Ali hesitated. That was nearly the meat of an entire cow. "You need a full 3 mons?" he asked. "Yes," the man replied. "Then when do you need it?" "I'll have to arrange a cow." The man said, "Do one thing. The day after tomorrow, bring me a black cow. It must be completely black. No marks, no defects. Prepare about 3 mons of meat for me, and you will have to deliver it to me." Abbas Ali asked, "Where should I deliver it?" "Near this village," the man replied. "You'll have to go beyond the village. Follow this road ahead." Abbas Ali said, "I've never gone that way. You will find it easily. Ask anyone, and they will show you the way." "Where exactly?" "There is a shrine at the end of the village. Go past it, then walk about a mile further. You will find it there. The forest begins near that place. Our community lives close to the forest. Bring the meat there. And remember, we need it by evening." Abbas Ali said, "All right, I will prepare the cow beforehand and bring it." Then he added, "But for such a large order, and since you're specifically asking for a black cow—" "Yes," the man interrupted. "It must be black. No flaws." Abbas Ali nodded. "All right, I'll arrange it. But for that, I'll need money in advance. I'll have to buy the cow first." The man said, "That's not a problem." He then took out a pouch and held it forward. It looked like a rough leather bag. "Count it," the man said. "There's money inside." Abbas Ali hesitated. "How can I count it here in the dark?" The man pointed and said, "Go there. There is moonlight. Count it there." Feeling uneasy standing in the middle of the road at night, Abbas Ali slowly stepped into the patch of moonlight. He opened the pouch and saw that it was an old leather bag filled with a thick bundle of money. He counted and realized it was more than enough. "This is too much money," Abbas Ali said. "I won't need all of this." The man replied, "No problem. Keep it. Buy what you need, and return the rest when you come to deliver the meat." Abbas Ali understood that there was quite a lot of extra money in it. "I don't need this much," he insisted. "Take some of it back." The man said, No, it's fine. Spend what is necessary. Buy the cow as you like. Return the rest later." Abbas Ali then asked, "You're giving me money without any proof?" The man replied, "I don't need proof. I know you." Abbas Ali said, "At least tell me your name." The man responded, "You don't need my name. Just come there the day after tomorrow." With that, the man suddenly turned and began to walk away. Abbas Ali stood there, completely stunned, watching him leave. Through the gaps in the trees, the moonlight fell on the man's dark cloak. He had covered his head completely. Abbas Ali remained standing there for a while, motionless. He felt a slight chill as the wind started blowing. Quickly, he put the money back and carefully secured the pouch. Slowly, he tied it around his waist. He fastened it with the string around his waist, along with the small pouch he usually carried for money. After tying it properly, he set off again, carrying the meat in his hand. In this way, he returned home. After reaching home, he called his wife and she came out. Their house was built like this, walls all around, and in the middle there was a charpoy where they used to sit. On one side was the kitchen where the cooking was done. He freshened up, and after that he sat down to eat at night. His wife was busy cooking. While eating, he told her about what had happened. He said that he had received a large order. His wife said, "Such a big order. Then you won't be able to sell meat to your regular customers that day." He replied, "It will be a lot more work for me. I can't turn away the villagers who usually buy meat from me. So that day my workload will increase." I'll have to prepare my regular cattle as well as an entire cow for this man. Anyway, let's see what I can do. His wife said, "Why did you take the responsibility of delivering it so far away? If he needed meat, he could have come and taken it from you." He replied, "What can I do?" He said he would cover all expenses, and he has already given me a lot of money in advance. He even gave extra and told me to use whatever I need from it. His wife said, "You understand your business better. What can I say? Do whatever you think is right." After eating, Abbas Ali lay down for a long time and then fell asleep. The next day, he woke up very early and went to buy livestock from the place where he usually purchased animals. There, he started searching, but he faced a problem. He couldn't find a black cow that matched his requirements. Since the man had already paid him in advance and specifically asked for a perfect cow, he searched very carefully. He was looking for a cow that was completely black, flawless in every way, and also had the right weight, because it needed to yield about 3 mons of solid meat. As he kept searching, time passed. Some cows were too big, some were too small. This took a lot of time. He had already collected the animals for his regular customers, but finding this particular black cow was becoming difficult. Finally, he thought, "This is becoming too troublesome, and time is running out." So he decided to buy the animals needed for the next day's sacrifice as well. He bought 2 cows for himself, and after searching for a long time, he finally found a black cow that matched his preference. By then, a lot of time had already passed. At that point, he became a bit irritated. He thought, "No, I will charge this man more for the meat. After all this trouble, why should I give it at the regular price?" He reasoned, "Selling meat at the normal rate is one thing, but I will set my own price for this." He calculated that with the amount of money the man had given, it didn't seem like he would have to return much, if anything. Anyway, he returned with the 3 animals. After coming back, he slaughtered and sold the animal meant for that day. Then, with the remaining 2 cows, he set off towards a farmer's house in the village. The farmer's house was nearby. Abbas Ali used to keep his extra cattle in that farmer's cowshed whenever he had more animals than usual, at least for the night. So, he was heading toward the farmer's house. The location was like this. Once he left his shop, there was a vast field of crops. Along the side of that field ran a narrow path. At the very end of that path stood a large tree, and beside that tree was the farmer's house. As he walked through the field, he noticed that evening had already fallen on both sides. Darkness was almost setting in. Everything was in a dim, shadowy light. At that moment, he saw something strange. In the middle of the field, it looked like countless tiny insects. Like mosquitoes were flying together, forming a large shape, almost like the figure of a human. It moved past him at some distance. From afar, it looked like a swarm of insects, but the shape was distinctly human-sized. Seeing this, Abbas Ali felt a chill run through his body. He was unable to say anything. A deep sense of uneasiness came over him. He kept walking. As he walked, he noticed the moon was visible in the sky. The darkness was growing thicker, and the light was fading away. After some time, he reached the farmer's house with the 2 cows. But the cows were behaving strangely. They were restless, fidgeting a lot. Abbas Ali noticed that, even from a distance, he could still see that swarm, the cluster that looked like a mass of mosquitoes. It seemed like countless tiny insects gathered together, like the way mosquitoes sometimes hover above a person's head. But this one had formed a full human-like shape, moving at some distance from them. The cows were becoming very agitated, so he called out to the farmer. After a while, the farmer came out looking a bit annoyed. After all, it was quite late at night. He came carrying a hurricane lamp and said, "Abbas Bhai, what's the matter? You're very late today. It would have been better if you came earlier. We usually lock up the cowshed by now. Since you were so late, I thought you wouldn't come." Abbas Ali felt a bit embarrassed and said, "Actually, I got delayed today. Took time to finish selling, and then I had to go buy cattle. I've got a big order. An entire cow." The farmer asked, "Which one is it?" Abbas Ali pointed and said, "The black one." The farmer looked and said, "Oh, that one looks quite strong. One person is taking all that meat." Abbas Ali replied, "Yes, I think there's some kind of occasion." "All right then, bring them in," the farmer said. He went ahead and opened an extra room beside the cowshed, which they usually kept for Abbas Ali when he had extra cattle. The farmer walked ahead holding the lamp, and Abbas Ali followed behind with the 2 cows. As they approached the cowshed entrance, something strange happened. The black cow suddenly stopped walking. Its front legs stiffened, and it stared straight at the open doorway. It refused to move forward, breathing heavily. Abbas Ali tried to pull it, but it wouldn't budge. The farmer said, "What's wrong with it? Why is it behaving like this? The other one seems calm." Abbas Ali replied, "I don't understand. It wasn't like this before." The cow kept resisting, snorting and refusing to go in. Then Abbas Ali noticed something unsettling. The swarm, that cluster of insect-like thing. Abbas Ali replied, "I don't know. It was completely normal before." They both came out and shut the cowshed door. The door had a small gap at the bottom, about 6 inches, and also some open space at the top. As they were walking away, Abbas Ali looked back once. It seemed to him that the swarm, the cluster of insects, suddenly rushed into the cowshed, as if it entered all at once. Inside, the cows were still restless, moving and making noises. The farmer said, "Will this cause trouble at night? Are they tied properly?" Abbas Ali replied, "Yes, they are secured. Should be fine. There aren't any dangerous wild animals around here anyway, except maybe foxes." After some more conversation, they parted ways. Abbas Ali left and started walking back home. On his way back, his mind was filled with thoughts. Why did the cow behave like that? And what was that strange swarm? After returning home, he was very tired. He freshened up and went to sleep. The next morning, he woke up and quickly made a plan for the day. He had a local assistant, a boy named Wakil. He thought, "I should take him with me today. It will be easier. I'll have him help me with the work. Since I have to prepare 2 cows, and after that carry the meat, he can assist me." So, following his plan, he went to Wakil's house and brought him along. Then the 2 of them headed toward his shop. On the way, they stopped by the farmer's house and collected the cows. But as soon as he took the cows, he noticed something strange. They seemed very weak and lifeless, unusually dull. Felt odd to him, though he couldn't quite explain why. Anyway, he brought the cows to his place, slaughtered them, and sold the portion meant for his regular customers as usual. And on this side, the black cow, the one he had slaughtered, he prepared it in his own way. He cut the meat into pieces, just like it is usually done for festivals, and neatly packed the pieces into sacks, filling them carefully. From the market, he rented a bullock cart to transport the meat. He told the man he rented it from, "I won't be able to return it tonight. I'll bring it back tomorrow." The man said, "All right, no problem." He finished loading everything. He had already completed his regular selling, after preparing meat from 2 cows. By then, quite a lot of time had passed. It was already night again, around 8 or 8:30 when he finally finished everything. The bullock cart was standing at a distance, and he, along with Wakil, was lifting the sacks one by one and loading them onto it. After loading everything, they were ready to leave. Wakil said, "Cha-cha, it's already night. Where are you going to take all this meat at this hour?" Abbas Ali replied, "Don't worry, son. It's not very far. From here, if we follow the main road, at the far end there's a shrine. We have to go past that." Wakil seemed a bit scared. He said, "Cha-cha, do you know about that place? It's actually a frightening area. People don't use that road anymore. Earlier, people used to bring firewood from there into the village, but now they've stopped. They're afraid. There's a forest there, and people say jinn live in that place. Many jinn." Abbas Ali laughed a little and said, "These are just stories people in villages always talk about. I won't worry about such things. We just need to deliver the meat, and I've been paid well for this." Wakil, who was quite brave, said, "All right then, Ustad, no problem. Let's go." They checked everything once more to make sure everything was properly arranged. Then Abbas Ali set off. He walked alongside the cart and told Wakil, "You can sit on the cart if you want." Wakil sometimes sat on the cart, sometimes got down and walked beside him. The night was calm and beautiful. A gentle breeze was blowing. The village road made creaking sounds. Catch, 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 from the wooden wheels of the bullock cart as it moved along. They noticed that this side of the village was completely asleep. No people around. In those days, settlements were sparse. Vast stretches of land lay open, with only a few mud houses here and there. Some were abandoned. As they continued, Abbas Ali passed the path that led to his own house. Instead of turning toward home, he kept moving forward. He felt a bit strange. He always turned in from here, but today he was going further ahead. They kept walking and went quite far. Now there were no houses in sight, just open fields stretching endlessly. In the distance, a line of trees could be seen, as if marking the beginning of a forest. The land around them was mostly barren, with tall wild grass in some areas where no crops were grown. At that point, Wakil said, "Cha-cha, where's this shrine? I can't even remember seeing it." Abbas Ali replied, "I've never come this far before either. Let's keep going. It should be ahead." They kept walking and walking. There were no lights anywhere, only moonlight faintly illuminating the surroundings. A sense of uneasiness crept in. Even Abbas Ali, who was used to handling meat all the time, felt that the smell of the meat had become unusually strong. The sacks were filled tightly, and after walking so long, he was sweating. At one point, he said to Wakil, "Let's stop for a bit." They rested briefly, stopping the cart for some time. By now, they realized they had come quite far. They had no idea what time it was. It had already been night when they started, and they had been walking for a long time. In those days, people didn't keep track of time so precisely, especially in villages. They couldn't tell how far they had come. Suddenly, in the distance, they saw a structure, something large like a dome. They realized that it must be the shrine. So they slowly pulled the bullock cart forward, moving toward it. As they approached the gate of the shrine, they noticed lights inside. Several lanterns seemed to be burning. The light flickered against the walls, casting unsteady shadows all around. Even the light spilling outside seemed unstable, trembling rather than steady. Seeing the shrine, Abbas Ali felt a sense of relief. Yes, this must be the right place, he thought. Slowly, they came very close. As they approached, the shrine became more visible. Nearing it, they caught a fragrance. It smelled like incense was burning there. Then they saw, at the entrance of the shrine, a man standing. He was wearing a white robe, and on his head was a large turban, its cloth hanging down. He had a long, snow-white beard. He stood there, looking at them with the flickering light falling on his body. As they came closer, the man greeted them loudly, "Assalamu alaikum." Even from a distance, his voice carried clearly. Hearing this, Abbas Ali replied, "Wa alaikum assalam," and slowly moved forward. The man asked, "Where are you going?" Abbas Ali said, "We are heading further down the road. I have an order. I'm delivering this meat there." The man said, "You have come to such a place, and it didn't occur to you even once to question it? At this hour of the night, why are you bringing this to such a place? A place of the dead." Hearing this, Abbas Ali felt a chill run through him. He became uneasy and said, "A place of the dead? What do you mean?" The man replied, "Just ahead, there is a graveyard, a very old one, and beyond that, the whole area belongs to the Djinn. They dwell there. To whom are you taking this meat? Who gave you this order?" Abbas Ali said, "Someone came to me yesterday and placed the order for the meat." The man smiled faintly and slowly shook his head. Then he said, "You should go back. You don't need to deliver the meat. Don't go there." Abbas Ali felt troubled. He said, "Huzer, I have come this far with great effort. I never refuse an order once I accept it. Since I have taken the order, I must deliver the meat." Hearing this, the man became quiet for a moment, then softly murmured, "Honesty." He gestured for them to stop and brought out a lantern from inside. Handing it to Abbas Ali, he recited a prayer and blew over it. Then he said, "Keep this lantern. As you walk the path, keep reciting this prayer." He taught him a specific prayer and said, "Keep reciting it continuously. Even when you reach there, do not stop reciting it. And listen carefully, do not step outside the light. Stay within the light of this lantern. Do not go beyond it. I have prayed over this light. Never leave it." Then he added, "Go now and return quickly. I will be here. There is no problem, but the place you are going to is not good." After saying this, the man stood there again, looking off into the distance, as if lost in his own thoughts. Abbas Ali stood there for a moment, thinking. He looked and saw that the Sufi man was no longer paying attention to them. He was staring elsewhere, absorbed in something unknown. Then Abbas Ali said to Wakil, "Let's go." Wakil seemed frightened. He said, "Chacha, are we really going? Do we really have to go? We've brought the meat. Should we just leave it here?" Abbas Ali replied, "No, that won't do. It has to be delivered to the person who ordered it. I never leave an order unfinished." With that, he started walking again. As they moved forward, he noticed that the bull pulling the cart had also become tired, almost exhausted. He gently stroked the bull's back, then urged it to walk again. They kept moving forward, leaving the shrine behind. Now they were on the road, and on both sides, large trees had already begun to line the path. There were no houses anymore. Tall trees stood on both sides, and beyond them stretched vast open land, wide empty fields. The trees ran along the edges, large and dense. It felt as if they had entered a jungle. Abbas Ali and Wakil looked around. Everything felt different, strange. As the trees thickened, a thin layer of mist spread all around, like a delicate veil covering the area. The lantern they carried cast light around them, illuminating a small portion of the surroundings. The light felt eerie, almost ghostly, yet Abbas Ali found some comfort in it. After all, it had come from the shrine, and the Sufi man had recited prayers over it. He believed there must be some protection in it. Thinking all this, he kept walking. After a while, they reached an open clearing. Here, the trees had thinned out. In that open space, there were small stone markers placed at intervals like short pillars. At that moment, Abbas Ali realized this was a graveyard. He remembered what the Sufi had said earlier. Quietly, he began reciting prayers for the dead. As he walked, he softly recited, "Assalamu alaikum, ya al-Kubar," and continued forward. Then he remembered the specific prayer the Sufi had taught him. He began reciting that as well, slowly, continuously. After crossing the graveyard, the trees grew dense again. Then, beyond that, there appeared to be a large open field. From a distance, Abbas Ali heard something, noise. It sounded like a commotion, like several people making noise together. The voices resembled those of young boys, teenagers around 16 to 20 years old, shouting and playing like during a game. He thought, maybe I've reached the place. Perhaps this is the family who ordered the meat. Maybe the Sufi at the shrine didn't know about them. Thinking this, he moved closer. As they approached the field, in the dim light, there was no steady light, only shifting moonlight as clouds passed over the sky. He could make out figures. It looked like a group of people playing in the field, but something felt off. The figures weren't clear. They had human-like shapes from head to toe, but they seemed unusually tall, elongated. It looked like they were playing with a ball. As Abbas Ali and Wakil came closer, the lantern light spread faintly across the trees and ground. They stopped the cart. Suddenly, thud! Something came flying and landed beside them. Abbas Ali thought it must be a ball from the boys playing. He quickly ran forward and tried to kick it back toward them, just like one would naturally do. But the moment he kicked it, he cried out in pain. It wasn't a ball. It was a stone, a hard, solid stone. The impact was so strong that he felt a sharp pain shoot through his leg. He immediately sat down, clutching his foot, groaning in agony. It felt as if his leg might break from the force. As he sat there in pain, he looked up and froze. There was no one there. The field was completely empty. No boys, No movement. Nothing. All around them, there was only silence, the deep stillness of the night. The sound of crickets grew loud, echoing sharply in the darkness. Wakil quickly pulled the bullock cart forward and rushed to Abbas Ali. "Cha-cha, what happened?" Abbas Ali said. "My leg. It hurts badly." Wakil looked confused. "Why did you kick that stone?" Abbas Ali said. "Stone? No, I saw boys playing. The ball came this way." Wakil shook his head. "I didn't see anyone. I only saw you go forward and kick that stone." Abbas Ali fell silent, confused. He couldn't understand what he had just seen, or what had happened. At that moment, they both felt it. The surroundings suddenly seemed alive. From all around, a strange murmuring began, soft whispers, as if many voices were speaking at once, close to their ears. It sounded like people whispering quietly to each other. This time, Wakil heard it too. He trembled. "Cha-cha, I'm scared. It feels like something is around us. Maybe some animal? Could it be attracted by the smell of the meat? Maybe something has come out of the forest." Abbas Ali, now tense, said, "Be quiet. Don't speak." He himself was worried, but tried to remain steady. "Don't panic. It might be something. Maybe the smell of meat has attracted animals. Stay calm." Then he said, "Bring the lantern forward. Huser told us to keep it ahead." Wakil quickly brought the lantern forward and held it in front. Abbas Ali also moved closer to the cart. Then a thought struck him. Where is the man who was supposed to receive the meat? For a long time, nothing happened. No sign, no response, nothing at all. They just sat there in silence. Only those whispering sounds continued, coming from all around them, as if voices were passing through the trees, murmuring softly in the dark. After a while, they suddenly felt something approaching. It seemed like many figures were coming toward them, but they weren't clear. In the dimness of the night, they looked vague, almost formless, like shadows moving through the air. Both Abbas Ali and Wakil felt a chill run down their spines. The figures came closer and closer. The bull pulling their cart became restless, stamping its hooves against the ground, snorting loudly, as if agitated and frightened. Then the figures seemed to stop at some distance. The bull now looked completely out of control, as if it might bolt at any moment. Abbas Ali began reciting prayers loudly. At that moment, from behind the trees nearby, from somewhere hidden, a voice spoke. "Why are you so late? You were supposed to come much earlier. Everyone here has gone mad waiting to eat meat. I paid you, and still you took this long." Abbas Ali was stunned. Someone was addressing him as a rude, informal way of speaking. No one ever spoke to him like that. People usually treated him with respect, calling him Abbas Bai. The voice didn't sound familiar. It was strange, harsh, almost distorted. He thought, is this the man who gave me the order? He replied, "Why are you speaking like this? I've brought the meat, haven't I? Do you know how much trouble I went through? The road is not easy. Why don't you come forward instead of speaking from there?" The voice snapped back, "Silence. Leave the meat here and go. Don't speak. Leave it and get out." Abbas Ali was shaken. He didn't know what to do. Finally, he said quietly to Wakil, "Unload the sacks." Wakil began unloading the meat. Abbas Ali joined him. The bullock cart stood nearby, but the bull was extremely restless, scraping the ground again and again, snorting, as if it would break loose at any moment. They moved toward the back of the cart, where it was darker. The lantern was placed in front, so behind them the shadows were thick. They kept unloading the meat sack by sack. Suddenly, the voice called again from that side, "Abbas, come here. Come closer." Abbas hesitated, then slowly walked forward. The voice said, "Did you calculate the price properly for me?" Abbas felt uneasy. He replied, "Why wouldn't I calculate properly? I bought the cow from you, I worked hard, spent my time. Of course I calculated everything. Meat prices aren't what they used to be." The voice said, "You said I was paying you extra." Abbas replied, "No, it's not about extra. But why are you speaking to me like this? He was speaking toward the darkness, toward the trees, because the voice was coming from there. No one had come into view. Then, from the darkness, something emerged. A shadowy figure stepped forward. It was very tall, 7 or 8 feet at least. It had the shape of a human, draped in a long cloak, but its face, its features, nothing was visible. Just darkness. As it came closer, it said something in Arabic, Makmafai. Abbas Ali understood a little Arabic. He knew it meant something like fool or madman, a harsh insult. Before he could react, a sudden, powerful slap struck his face. Thwack! The pain exploded across his cheek. He was thrown backward, crashing onto the cart. At that very moment, Wakil had just unloaded one last sack. As Abbas fell onto the cart, it jolted violently, and then the bull bolted. The cart surged forward at full speed. Abbas lay there, dazed, his vision blurring. Everything spun before his eyes. Through the haze, he saw something. From the darkness, something was rushing toward him. Something shifting, flickering like a trembling shadow in motion. Then everything went black. He lost consciousness. After some time, he slowly regained awareness. It was still night. The loud chirping of crickets filled the air. Trees surrounded him. He opened his eyes and saw light, flickering. The lantern. Its glow fell directly on his face, hurting his eyes. He blinked repeatedly. His cheek throbbed with intense pain. He slowly raised his hand and touched it. Yes, the pain was real, sharp and deep. He sat up. Looking around, he saw that he was lying on the bullock cart, the same one they had come with. The bull stood ahead, and the lantern burned nearby, casting its dim, flickering light in the darkness. And the ox had its head lowered, as if it was eating something, grass or something like that. The surroundings were dark, surrounded by trees. Abbas Ali felt as if his soul had dried up. He couldn't understand what to do. Slowly, he sat up. There was no one around. Out of fear, he began reciting prayers. After a while, he saw that right in front of him, just a few feet away, that Sufi gentleman was standing. He said, "Are you all right? Come with me. There's no problem, I will take you. Come. Turn your cart. Turn the ox around." Somehow Abbas Ali stood up. Stumbling, he turned the ox and began moving back. He realized that he had to return the way he came. Ahead, there was only darkness. He saw that the Sufi wearing the cloak was standing ahead. This gave him a little courage. Slowly, he started walking the ox. The ox also began following behind the Sufi. He climbed onto the cart. He wanted to say, "Huzer, will you sit on the cart?" But no reply came. He saw that the Sufi was walking far ahead. There was quite some distance between them. Surprisingly, the Sufi was walking very fast. After walking like this for a long time, they eventually came out into an open place. In the distance, in the darkness, it seemed like a person was standing in the middle of the road. The Sufi went there and stood, and raised his hand signaling to stop. Abbas Ali stopped the cart. The Sufi said, "Lift him onto the cart." Abbas Ali got down and went forward, and at that moment, it felt as if his soul would leave his body. He saw Wakil was standing, but his head was completely turned backwards, as if his neck had been twisted. His feet were stuck to the ground. Seeing this, Abbas Ali could no longer control himself. Tears began to fall from his eyes. He ran forward. He loved Wakil very much. Going closer, he saw that the body had become stiff. With great difficulty, he dragged and lifted him from the ground. The body felt very heavy. Somehow he placed him at the back of the cart. He broke down in tears. Then the ox itself started walking fast. Looking ahead, he saw that the Sufi was still walking in front of them. In this situation, he became astonished thinking about where the Sufi had come from. All around was silent. Only the sound of the cart's wheels and the chirping of crickets. After some time, they reached in front of that shrine again. The Sufi stood at the door. As the cart came close, he said, "Leave. I had already forbidden you not to go there. If I hadn't gone there today, your condition would have been very bad. You had taken meat for the Djinn. They do not spare anyone. You also made a miscalculation with them. They are very dangerous. Anyway, today you have survived by the mercy of Allah. Now go home and bury this boy properly. Recite prayers. Don't go outside for a couple of days. Don't even go to your shop." Saying this, the Sufi stood silently, as if lost within himself. Trembling in fear, Abbas Ali left from there. How he reached home, he has no memory of it. After reaching home, he started shouting loudly. Hearing his screams, people from around rushed in with sticks. They came and saw. Abbas Ali was trembling in fear, and in his cart lay Wakil's dead body. They also saw one side of Abbas Ali's cheek had turned completely bruised. People held him and made him sit. Within a short time, he fainted. Later, it was known that he suffered from fever for many days. In his sick state, he only heard that Wakil had been properly buried, and someone, a Sufi-like man, would sometimes come and check on him. He would leave blessed water, saying to make him drink this. Slowly, with that water and the treatment of the village healer, Abbas Ali recovered. After recovering, he moved his business from there. From then on, he never stayed outside after evening. Even if the meat didn't sell, he would sell it at a low price or bring it home, but he would return before nightfall. This is how his life continued. This was one of the most terrifying incidents of Abbas Ali's life.